Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, it is KingNido here and we are in Pewter City where today we have a huge Masters 8 matchup where the Pewter Stones are hosting the Hearth Home Haunts. The Haunts are starting out with Drifblim and Cursor, whereas it's Barbarical and Gigalith starting out for the Stones, and whoever wins this match could potentially jump up into second place as that Gyro Ball from Drifblim is super effective on Gigalith. Not that it looked like it did such minimal damage. Pedal Dance being performed there by Barbarical onto Cursor. Surely it wishes that Jotonian Cursor was a thing, as that guard split from Cursor to Barbarical. And Gigalith with the discharge hits everyone on the field. It is super effective on Barbarical, its own teammate, but it's also super effective on Drifblim, as Drifblim going for another super effective move with the Smart Strike. Much more damage being done that time onto Gigalith as Barbarical continues the Pedal Dance. Now the Heart Home Haunts definitely don't want to lose this. They had an embarrassing loss last round, as a good hit there from Cursor onto Barbarical, so they want to redeem themselves here, but the Pewter Stones want to continue their winning ways to work their way up into the Elite Four, as Drifblim with the Flying Press now coming down on Barbarical, and Barbarical holds on barely, and it's able to go for that last Pedal Dance onto Cursor and gets the elimination. Barbarical coming through with the goods after holding on there, but it is left confused due to that fatigue, as Gigalith is going to go for a super effective Nightshade now onto Drifblim. Good hit there on the Flying Ghost Up, and Dragapult coming out now for the Heart Home Haunts. The Pseudo Legendary immediately goes for a Bulk Up. It is going to boost its attack and defense, and it already has that base 120 attack, as a Draining Kiss from Drifblim is finally going to finish Barbarical off. Barbarical with that key hold on to get that elimination of Cursor. It's down to a 5v5 match though, both sides having lost one Pokemon. Gigalith with the Screech is going to greatly lower the defensive stat there of Drifblim, having that defense, as I said, greatly low. But it's another Pseudo Legendary coming onto the field, and it is Tyranitar for the Pewter Stones. Drifblim will not be affected by Dragapult's Earthquake, but it will be super effective on Tyranitar, and it gets the elimination of Gigalith as well with that super effective move. Gigalith, who is able to tank so many hits, has been taken out by the Pseudo Legendary as a takedown from Drifblim onto Tyranitar. Not very effective. Drifblim getting that recoil damage. Tyranitar with the Psyshock onto Dragapult. Okay hit there onto the Ghost Dragon type, as Caracosta comes out now for the Stones, and Dragapult going for the tea time here, clearly wanting to eat that berry of its own, ignoring the unnervability of Tyranitar. Everyone chowing down on that food, but as I said, whoever wins this matchup could potentially jump up into second place. You'll be guaranteed the winner will be sitting in a top 4 spot, an Elite 4 position, as now Drifblim goes for a super effective Leaf Blade onto Caracosta, and Caracosta holds on after that move. The Thrash won't affect Dragapult from Tyranitar. The Terrain Pulse won't affect Drifblim from Caracosta as that mist disappears, and Dragapult now going for the Bug Buzz. It goes for Tyranitar, and Tyranitar is eliminated with that super effective hit. Dragapult is bringing all it can to this matchup, and Drifblim now with the Octazooka onto Caracosta. That is 4 Pokemon down now for the Pewter Stones after that huge play, and Archeops now coming out with Colossal as the last 2 Pokemon. Dragapult immediately with the Absorb onto Archeops. Doesn't do a great deal of damage, as Dragapult is able to restore a little bit of health from that move. Archeops though does respond with a Zen Headbutt. They seem to be going for those psychic moves onto Dragapult there. Drifblim with the Fire Pledge onto the Flying Fossil Pokemon. Not very effective, however, as Colossal with the Sweet Scent now is going to lower the evasiveness of Drifblim there, making it a much easier target to hit. But the Zap Cannon is avoided by Colossal from Dragapult, and Archeops with the Sparkling Arrow. This will hit everybody on the field. It's actually going to be super effective on Colossal. It almost takes out its own teammate. Not very effective there on Dragapult, as Drifblim with the Charge is going to give a boost there to its special defensive stats. So as Colossal now with the Confide, it's going to go for the lowering of the stats now on Drifblim, lowering its special attack, and Dragapult begins to absorb Blade. It is setting up for a Solar Blade here. We'll see that connect in the coming turns, as Archeops first though with the Bolt Beak is going to get the elimination of Drifblim, who has been in this matchup since the start, but with that Aftermath ability, Archeops will be hurt. That ability coming in very good in this stage in the game. Colossal with the Wild Charge though goes for Dragapult. Dragapult's able to tank that hit really quite well, considering it's not very effective. Colossal with the coil damage as well, and Delmoise comes out for the Heart Home Haunts, but Dragapult now is going to finish off that Soul Blade and it brings that blade down onto Archeops, and Archeops is eliminated. And now Dhelmise with the freeze dry onto Colossal is going to get the victory for the Heart Home Haunts, even though not very effective. The Heart Home Haunts come out with a massive dominant victory, rebounding from last week's unfortunate loss. They have thrashed the Pewter Stones here today, moving themselves up in the second place. The Pewter Stones will slip from 6th down to 7th. They're still in the Masters 8. Surely they're going to want to do better when next round they actually face the New Morval Devils, who are sitting in 8th place. The Heart Home Haunts next round will be facing the Humliao Cascade, but our next matchup will be even bigger. Opelousas Draconids in 4th, taking on the first place Olivinor, who've only lost 1 game this season. Will the Opelousas Draconids be the ones who can hand them that second loss, or will the Olivinor continue that domination? I cannot wait for that matchup, but until then, Nidorinas and Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field, and if you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, always remember, you are awesome, and I'll see you when you see me.